Walmart decided to be a great idea to release Riftbound 1 week before its actual release event. We're going to be talking about how this badly affects the local game stores, the market itself, some big news that have happened recently on the Riftbound community. We have a Discord where we talk about all things Riftbound, link in the description down below. The biggest thing in Riftbound for the rules specifically is that the book is now 70 pages instead of 65. This really only matters if you're a competitive player or going to be a judge. Chains, timings, and how certain cards interact with each other, that's a lot more defined. The reason why I didn't make a more in detail rules videos because I knew something like this would happen. So the videos that you have seen where people talk more in depth about timing and chains, that those videos probably might not be right anymore. However, the biggest thing I want to talk about is the fact that Walmart today just put out Riftbound cards and people have been finding a bunch of stuff, and I mean a bunch of stuff. Now, the reason why that's a problem is because of local games. The release event, the structure of the release event is one structure deck, two booster packs. And if you beat people with your enhanced deck that you use booster packs to make better, you will then get more booster packs. So there is a bit of a monetary value to beating people in your local game stores. If you're sweaty and you're Omega Cringe, you could open as many packs as you can, get the cards that would work well in with a Jinx deck, a Victor deck, and a Lee Sin deck, and take all those cards to your local game stores. And when you rip open your booster pack, you can walk to the washroom, juice up your deck with your old cards from Walmart, and absolutely crush everybody's weaker deck because those decks are going to be weak. But besides that point, the biggest thing I do want to talk about is the secondary market. Now, booster packs, rarity, you just need to know about rare and epic for now. Overnumbered, big hit card, signed signatures, understandable. But in each booster pack, you are given guaranteed two rare cards and 1 in 4 chance for it to be an epic card. The reason why this is important is because of how people are pricing their cards on eBay and secondary market. It's absolutely insane. To give you perspective, alternate art, so alt art cards, they say on average it's two per box on average. So you're going to be getting one, two, three ish alt arts in a box. Now, a box right now for boosters, depending where you're at, if you're able to get it cheaper, 140, 150, more expensive, 200, 300. I even seen places that are selling it for 400. Kind of nuts. Now, that's going to determine the price of the cards around everything else. What do I mean by that? There are currently people who are scalping out the wazoo. There's just no good way of putting it. This person is trying to sell a Yasuo for $200. It's an epic card. Every pack has this rarity. This person is trying to sell a seal, which is an epic card for 139. It's not worth 100. This guy's trying to sell a Yasuo for 200. This is the promo Ari, which is 273, and then you have an Altar Kaisa, which is even less. So, what is a price that's good to buy and that's justifiable, and what is a price that's just scalped? I'll give you some context. So, in China, a Yasuo is 20 bucks, 175, 51, 44, and these are alt art cards, right? Don't get me wrong, the signed card, you're probably looking at a couple hundred. Yeah, like the signed card, couple hundred. But all the other cards, like less than 50 bucks, right? This Yasuo is not worth that much. But if you want to use the Chinese cards from comparison, it's really good because I'll give you an example. Altar Kaisa, 139. It's a meta card. It's only found in one or two in every box, roughly. And a box costs about maybe 200. Well, technically, it's going to be costing us 250, 300. So a card that's to be found in 1 of 4, but then it's an alt art, which is two box. So your hit rate is basically 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 12. That's pretty insane. So in order for you to get a guaranteed alt art, you'd have to spend, oh man, at least 12 boxes worth to get the champion alt art that you're looking for, if we're looking for odds. So $100 for it, not bad. But to give you an example, this Vi, it's a foil card, so it's a shiny card, but you can get this in the Jinx pre-constructed deck and you get 3 copies of it. And do you want to pay an extra 190 bucks for foil? Maybe not. The reason why I say maybe not is because there's the Arcane Box Booster Collector Edition. This was in China. This was short printed, so there's only 5,000 that were printed. The English one has way more prints. The reason why I know that is because, number one, these sold out really fast. With the English one, it took 5 to 6 hours to sell out completely. There is a massive difference. There's going to be a lot more English product than there's going to be Chinese product. People are going to say Chinese cards are going to be worthless. That's not the point. It's supply and demand. There's a lot less supply compared to the English. But the reason why I'm blabbing about Arcane is because Arcane set is worth the same as what people are trying to sell for some insane scalp cards for. To give example, Heimerdinger, or call him Heimerdinger, $200. Warwick is 187, 167. Victor's 273. By the way, I believe these prices are completed sold. These are completed sales. Now, do you want to pay 200 for a PSA slabbed collector edition card, or do you want to pay 200 for this card? Not that hard to decipher. And funny enough, another card that is kind of on a lot of people's radar is the Promo Ari. The Promo Ari is a card I have right here as well. It's a card they can only get at big events. So these are PAX, TwitchCon, all that fun stuff. So you would have to factor in, number one, the cost of entry, how limited it is, how hard it was to get, as well as the price of going to the event, getting the hotel, flying there, traveling, food. So for me, 273 for Ari, you can consider it as me trying to fly out for 273 a trip. Kind of worth it, in my opinion. Now, do I think that Riftbound is going to go to the moon? Yes, I do, but that's more speculative than anything based off of reality, because there are a lot of card games that don't pop off the way that it's intended. Okay, most card games die and fizzle out, then it does survive. To give you an example of a prime card game, Gundam. Gundam came out. Are people super excited about it? Yes. Is it super popular to the point where people are scalping out the wazoo and the cards are worth a bunch of money? And yeah, no, it's not like that. So Riftbound could be exactly like that. Just because you have a very strong IP doesn't mean you have the cost to be able to just buy that. However, do note that people have some insane expectations for the game because of just how insane the resale market is for a pre-sold item that isn't even released yet. The Arcane box booster was 69 bucks USD. If we factor into shipping, so we'll add an extra $30 for shipping, we can call this an even $100 USD just for this box. Currently, right now, Arcane English, it is going for almost double, triple that. 321, 323. Let's go for completed sales. Okay, yeah. Completed sales, we're looking at about 321, 377, 320, 307, 347, 349. And by the way, these are prices of the game before the game has officially released. So all this momentum and hype for the cards themselves, the cards aren't even out yet. It's not physically out yet. People are selling pre-sales of the pre-sales. It's just wild. It's 3x in the span of 1 month, because the pre-order for this Riftbound came out in September. Yeah, it's maybe been like a month and a little bit. It's actually freaking wild how much the resale market has gone up. It's like, oh my Jesus, look at that. Someone bought it for 559 bucks, 447. Oh my days. Yeah, there are some pretty insane offering that. But as the lower we get, we can see it gets kind of low, but you'll see some really outlandish prices just randomly out of nowhere. But yeah, the Arcane Riftbound collector has 3x, if not gotten to the point where it's 4x, which is absolutely wild. However, I will say there is room for speculation. I'll give you guys like my tidbit. I don't know how true it is or how correct it is. I am keeping an eye out. If you're wondering about a card that I'm keeping an eye out, is Teemo. There's a specific Teemo that I'm looking out for, not the promo Teemo. The specific Teemo that I'm looking out for specifically is the alt art. The reason why I personally believe the Teemo is probably going to go up in price is because it's a card that is going to be eroded. Uh, However, eroded cards typically make good money, especially if they're an error card. If we take a look at One Piece, there's the Luffy, to give you an example. Luffy, which is an eroded card. So this is the value of a PSA 10 card that had its hex fixed. And then you have the unfixed one, which is worth, oh my Jesus, like this much. It's wild. Now, am I saying I think that the Teemo is going to be doing that? Probably not. But it is a card that I do know that's going to be eroded. So I think there's potential there. Uh yeah, maybe I'll cut this out. You know, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But I think the Teemo might go up in value because the card text is not correct. Just because of how it's worded, they have to change it. And if they release the fixed version of it the way that it is right now, it's technically considered an error card. So a lot of potential, a lot of speculation. Not going to dive much into it because I'm not a financial advisor. You know, it's not financial advice. Do with that what you will. But that is just a card and a tidbit of information that I will give you guys. Do I think Teemo's going to be the mascot of League of Legends? I don't think so. But you never know. For more news and updates for Riftbound, you can find our Discord community links in the description down below. And that's the video. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Keep you guys updated. But yeah, looking forward to all the release events. And yeah, or Riftbound.